This is Jim Francis. He's an eagle-eyed microbiologist.
At all these open-air outside events, there is always the potential for people to get ill if the food is not prepared properly. And I'm going to be kind of recording examples of what I see, both good and bad.
He's at two different events in Newcastle, the weekly Quayside Market and at a once-a-year festival, the Mailer, where catering for the masses means mistakes.
I've seen people physically wiping their nose and then going on to handle food. We've seen people handling food with their bare hands, so handling salad and then handling breads and then handling meat dishes.
But at the Quayside Market, something more concerning. Remember, the street spice investigation highlighted the need to cook raw ingredients properly. Well, today, Jim has spotted a schoolboy error.
They put a lot of time and effort into cooking the food, and then they sprinkled dried chilli on the top. Obviously that dried chilli poses a risk because it's not been through the heating process and therefore could reintroduce bacteria back into the food that you've just spent all your time and effort cooking.
Jim's going to take food samples back to the lab for testing. The thing is, these events pop up and then they're gone. We're patrolling them because, as far as I can see, there's no one else to do it.
We might not always make it to the actual festival where the street food is sort of being sold, but in theory we should know about that business.
Each vendor should be registered with their home local authority. But when they're out on the road, well, councils say budget cuts mean it's impossible to police everyone. In Newcastle, they've reduced the number of inspectors. They were unable to tell us by how many.
At the end of the day, you know, it's still the person selling the food who's responsible for making sure it's safe.
So it's only as safe as the person serving it.
Here we are, delicious hot dog, only handled by my own hands, which I haven't washed for hours.
You just wouldn't, would you? But at the Mailer, bad hygiene is getting Jim all worked up.
Hand washing. I haven't seen anybody wash their hands at all out of any of the places I've looked at as yet. When food handlers are preparing and working with food, the only thing they should be touching is food implements and the food itself.
So not ciggies and not your mobile phone.
You put that phone to your face, it often touches your lips, touches your mouth, you may cough on it, you may sneeze on it, and then somebody's touching that and then going on to pick up and prepare food.
Little wipe of the nose, stroke of the beard. Let's hope your next customer won't notice. Oh. And then there's eating whilst cooking for punters. Jim is not amused.
Whether you would specifically call them a breach of regulations that would merit serious concern is another question, but if you put them all together you would have to say that there are practices here that don't comply.